Yo, what is going on guys? It's Turbo here. I hope you enjoyed day 1 of ESL Road to Rio. Today I'm going to be doing day 2, so I'm going to be covering Dignitas versus Heretics, FaZe versus North, GODSENT versus G2, Liquid versus Bad News Bears, FURIA versus Envy, and Yeah versus MIBR. Enjoy the video. Before we get into the video, I did want to remind you if you did want free money for match betting on CSGO Empire, you can use code TurboCSGO under free case, as well as on the affiliates tab on CSGO ATSI, you can use code TurboCSGO. And if you do like skins and CSGO case openings, you can do case opening battles and upgrades on DatDrop, and using code TurboCSGO will get you a free 5% on your deposit. Enjoy the video. The first match I'll be getting into is Dignitas versus Heretics. This is definitely an interesting match. It's a historic Ninjas in Pajamas roster against the tier 2 names of France. I'm a believer in this Dignitas team. I think that they had a rough start, but they were able to show some form in the Flashpoint tournament. I think that these teams still have a lot of work to do and things to improve on. I think Dignitas will be able to just pull out enough to take this win against Heretics. Next match I'll be getting into is FaZe versus North. In the playoffs of ESL Pro League, it really seemed like FaZe was never really able to pull off a win. Despite the advantages they had in those matches and being able to pick up a map against Navi, Mousesports, and Fnatic, with also having a devastating overtime against Astralis, they were never really able to completely close a match. North, on the other hand, have been competing against some of the smaller EU teams like Spirit and Sprout. Their ESL Pro League season was ended with a loss to Complexity, Fnatic, and FaZe, while they surprisingly were able to beat Navi 2-0. In this match, I think there's definitely a chance for North to take a map here and potentially put on a strong performance, but I'm favoring FaZe to win this one and would recommend a bet on them. The next match is GODSENT versus G2. This is definitely a match I'm going to be watching. GODSENT recently has taken the DreamHack EU qualifier by storm, and they managed to surprise a lot of people and come out in first place. G2 on the other hand have maintained decent performances online in their ESL Pro League matches, although it wasn't like what they showed in their last LAN tournament. I think that betting on GODSENT plus 1.5 maps here is a good bet, but I also think that G2 would be able to take the match. I would recommend deciding between those two, or if you're feeling a little bit risky, place a bet on G2 to win 2-1. The next match is Liquid versus Bad News Bears. Although Bad News Bears has looked good in the North American DreamHack qualifier, I think this Liquid roster is going to be too much for them to beat. It is very hard for these low tier teams to beat a massively tactical team like Liquid, and I'm going to recommend a bet on them to win minus 1.5 maps here. The next match is FURIA versus Envy. Seeing the names on this roster for Envy made me nothing but a fan of them. I thought that when they were first announced that they would have a lot more potential, but they've been nothing but disappointing recently. They managed to throw what I believe was a 14-7 lead on CT side of Train, and they lost 16-14 to Cloud9, and then they got 2-0'd by Bad News Bears in the grand finals. I don't think with Envy's recent performance that they even stand a chance against FURIA here, and I'm going to recommend a minus 1.5 maps bet on FURIA. Last and final match of today is Ya versus MIBR. Personally, I'm going to skip this match. The odds aren't really good enough for the risk that comes with betting on an unstable MIBR, and then there's also the factor of it being an unknown Brazilian underdog, so I'm going to recommend skipping on this match. So here's my recap for today's matches. I actually got a request to add the odds, so I went ahead and did that so you guys can see the odds that I'm betting on. So for Dignitas versus Heretics, I recommended a Dignitas moneyline bet. For FaZe versus North, I recommended a FaZe moneyline bet. For GODSENT versus G2, I recommended a GODSENT plus 1.5 maps and a G2 moneyline bet, and then if you felt risky, a G2 2-1 bet. For Liquid versus Bad News Bears, I recommended a Liquid minus 1.5 maps bet. For FURIA versus Envy, I recommended a FURIA minus 1.5 maps bet, and for YA versus MIBR, I recommended that you skip that match. If you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and also turn on notifications to get notified when I upload every single day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.